part 2. Now, sorry, these, I just thought I'd quickly show you. I got these frames, what are they called? Front porch, 49 market frames anyway, something to do with porch. It's just as well I'm going to be looking everything up before I put the video out and give you links. Anyway, I just kind of like some of these, but these were all, you know, filling them in. But they're lovely little bits of card, and I just thought we could probably ink those up, you know, and make little tickets or something. So I can't throw them away. We just can't, can we? Any of us really throw the stuff away. So I just thought I'd see. I'll probably ink both sides in case I don't glue it down, in case it's sliding it into a pocket or something. Let's have a look. So those are distress inks. One's an oxide, one's just distress ink. They're both vintage photo, but they, because one is translucent and one is opaque, you get a slightly different vibe from each. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of water, activate the oxide, but also it gives us some nice distress marks. Sorry, I shouldn't turn away from the mic when I'm talking to you. So, okay, so we've got our ticket that's kind of, you know, nice and grungy. Because I wasn't intending to do any stamping, I'm not going to go and look out any specific special stamps, but I have these that I always have lying around for journaling. Excuse the noise. I've clearly not even used this yet, so let's have a look. I'll use an archival ink. I'm just going to use my fingers because I should probably make sure I've got it nice and inked up with it having never been used before. Although, as it's meant to be grungy, it won't really matter. Let's see, I think this is kind of a tickety kind of a stamp. Let's put it on, see what we get. Oh, there you go. Kind of cute. So that's the kind of thing. So I'm not going to throw these away. Might do some in red ink, some in blue ink. Well, you know, get the gist. I'll just take the excess ink off. There. So those can be used for that. Let me just put my stamp in its packet. Otherwise, it will get lost. Anyway, as I say, that wasn't the intention. I wasn't intending to sit and ink and stamp, but it gives you, sorry, knocking things over, gives you another idea of things you can do if you're not used to this kind of crafting. Okay, so we're going to try and cover and fill this book to make it look lovely. And we'll start with the cover. So what I've got here are my papers that you saw from the Toast collage set for 49 in Market, but I've also just got some piece of old sheet music, a couple of pages out of a book about insects, and this one is actually just from an old book, Jane Eyre book. It was 50p. And some charity shop or the other, so I have a proper copy of Jane Eyre. It's gorgeous, lovely leather cover. Isn't that nice? So it's okay for me to rip up that 50p one, I feel. Actually, I've got 3 copies of Jane Eyre, which won't get ripped up. So we've got these book pages. I've got the frames, as I showed you. And what I've done is I've just tipped everything into a little tray, as it's easier for me to rummage around. These are from the ochre ephemera set thing that what's it called? Ochre ephemera stackers. And these are the everywhere frames. They're really thick, hard, chipboardy, and they're self-adhesive too. Who knew? I didn't. Tickets, some tags. I got a couple of these Tim Holtz paper doll type things, and these frames are from Crafty Garden, 49 Market Crafty Garden. So it's actually one of these that I think I will use, but I'd like some of the little tabs. If I can't find them. Oh, so many bags. So many little bags. Tell me I've used them all up. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe that. I clearly need to buy myself a little tab punch. Oh, hang on, here we go. Here they are and here. So these kind of things. I kind of like these. No. So I'm thinking of having a bit of a stack here. But I'm going to want something that goes on the front as a main focal point. I've got some printed out vintage images from digital sets. Oh, she's kind of cool. I like her. She's a little bit too small. She's also kind of cool, isn't she? A little bit too small for that. But I can put something like a piece of book page behind her. See, we've got a bit already. Oh, we've got this that we were... Let's have a look. Say she was like that. And maybe I have a smaller Crafty Garden frame. It's not really, is it? It's not much smaller. I'm going to go back to my first choice because I liked it anyway. So again, before I do anything, I'm roughing up and inking all my edges. And that will include the frame. It's got nice rough edges already, but I still want it inked. So And let's go around all this. I'm liable to be dropping things quite a bit today. My hands are super sore. I'm just a little bit arthritic, particularly my thumbs, so I might be dropping things. It's a bit of a lame excuse because I think I dropped things even before I got sore hands. Okay. You also might do something like that. No, this here won't do really with it. So this was torn off when I was decorating this part. Just gotta okay, it's got its vintage vibe. So I guess we're kind of doing a patchwork. I think I'll use a tape this time. It's patchwork, but we don't want it to be neat patchwork, you know? It's okay to have bits that are torn away, that don't fit, that wrinkle up. Well, it still looks a bit too white for me. Let's see, I managed to... That's fine, I can just put you on there. Because really, when you're doing this kind of style, all that scruffiness just adds to it. It doesn't take anything away. Just gonna let that dry before I try and ink it. Then we can have these things. I want a little bit of the flower to show through, so I might have this coming out the edge a little bit. And there. Okay. And I also just want to mucky up this. It's still a little bit white. I'm using the alt side here because it's got a slightly nicer, more mellow for colouring in rather than the nice dark. This reminds me of if you've burnt something, you burnt paper along the edge, you get that nice colour, whereas this is a bit more mellow. I don't know if I'm having this down the way or up the way. I kind of like that, so I'm going to get these in place, roughly. A couple of bits of tape. Oh, that's the end of that one. Open a new one. If I can lay my hands on it quickly. About there. And here we go. I'm trying to get the edges off. But again, as I've said, does not have to be perfect. It's just a wee bit too straight. Let's squish it up a little. Squish some bits up a bit more. Tape's lifting all the ink off of my fingers. I think that'll do. Let's see. That's quite nice. And I am just going to glue this down. I'm going to use wet glue for this. I've not put glue all the way up to the edges because I'm aware that I want to add some extra little tabs, and so I want those to go underneath. Decorating your cover is obviously going to be all about what you have at home, and if you don't have things, you can make them, or you know, cut them out of other bits. This might be another slow, boring process, but I'm not sure if I need to speed up the video, or if everybody is happy just to sit and watch, craft along, whatever. Okay, we've made a start. We've made a start, and that's kind of cool. You don't have to completely finish one bit before you move on to the next bit. It's entirely up to you how you go through it. I tend to do a bit, come back, do another bit, move on. I'm looking to see if I have this completed. This was put together slightly differently, but and I based all my pages are all old book pages instead. But I did the basics here, and I put in the pockets and a flap, but I didn't decorate the flap right away. You know, I just sort of would do some and move to another bit, and so you can leave your cover if you want. If you don't know what to do next, I know that I'm going to want something, whatever something is here. Hey, what about putting on my little, let's tuck my little homemade ticket in there. Now, I think we need to pick up some of this nice reddish pink colour, because it's going to start looking awfully blah. So I'm going to go and see what I've got in the way of ephemera and ribbons and the likes. And I'll speed up the video again, because I could be gone sometime browsing through everything. Back in a minute. So I have these 49 and Market rub-ons. They have loads and loads and loads of beautiful rub-ons in all different colours. I never get mine used up before the next set comes out, and then I end up buying the next set and I haven't used my last set. But I think a little section of this might be good. I don't want whole great big bits of it. I think I'd like to see something about there. I'm just doing this very, very roughly. Okay, let's see. Under or over? Maybe over. I'll just use this to rub it on. Just going to, with my nail, kind of push it down where things join so that it cuts and they keep their 3D sort of effect of the layers that we're putting on, but at the same time we've got the rub-ons bringing out this colour, and I think that helps because it was going to look ever so yellow. Maybe the same sort of idea up here. I've obviously got more rub-on than fits, but anything that hangs over I can just pull off. It's got writing on it, so the writing kind of has to go in the same direction, I feel, as the page. I don't want upside down writing. It's hardly visible, but it's there, and a little bit tricky getting them rubbed on such an uneven surface. But 49 and Market rub-ons are so cool that they will cope. And this little bit that I pulled off from somewhere else, I will just layer it over. And rub it on. Well, I think that's quite nice. I think that lifts it, brightens it. Gives it a nice and romantic feminine feel. Use my nail to go round. You can do that with a pair of scissors. I just want it to stay 3D. Still see my frame, my tab. I might also just gently go over with a little bit of sandpaper later, just to make it a little bit less new. If you ever do this, a little bit less new looking. There. So that's her. I'll put some kind of saying or something down there, but let us move on, because I want to just sort of share ideas for inside. Now, we got this straight off. We've got this pocket, but we want to put something on it. We could I use paper doll people from Mr. Tim Holtz. I've got some vintage images again. I could go back to these. I think I had some sort of tall, thin ones. It's very dreamy, but not very. Oh, there's a little girl with a magnifying glass. She could go on. But I think to carry on the colour theme, I might just put the strap on. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll do it down there. Put some of the little red dots. Okay, that's cool. I got to scrap up this picture. Otherwise it just looks out of place and too new. Yeah, let's see what else we've got in here. Actually, I quite like that sticking out there, but it's white on the back, so look for something else that we can stick it onto. I'll stick it onto there. It's a bit of old book page, but I don't have to have the bit with the letters. I can just use the old paper. A little bit of wet glue. Kind of tear it off. I should really wait till the glue's dry because things tear a bit easier and when they're wet, and sometimes they tear in a way that you don't want them to. Okay, so that's going under there. Then what we'll see is that, so it might be nice to stamp a number or something on, or I'm going back to these rubber stamps that I just have lying about for my journaling. I think there might be numbers in one of them. What about this? What does this say? This will do. I don't know what it says. Do I want to use black ink? I think I'll maybe just, because we're not really going to be able to see all the stamps. Just something to give. Oh, there you go. Oh, it says, believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that is something inside you. I haven't stamped it. That's greater than the obstacles. Okay. Now, of course, there's distress ink and it will smudge if it gets wet. So I am going to use some Distress Microglaze, or if you have any of those waxes that you can put on watercolors that fix them. I'm just going to do that. There we go. It just gives it a wee protective coating, and now it won't come off. I should leave that to dry. Decisions now, decisions. Do I want this hanging out from her because it's about believing in yourself? Or do I want the ticket? I don't think it makes sense to have this. Well, I can't decide. Okay, I'm putting this side. I'm going to use wet glue because I want it to stay nice and secure. Maybe about there. The wax will take a little bit of time to dry, but now she's just on paper, so I'm going to use a little piece of card. I don't even have to do it particularly make it the exact same size. Just so that she doesn't squish down too much. We won't see a big bump there. And I would like a little something. What else have we got in here? Oh, well, we've got these, haven't we? Little pieces from... What oxides have we got? What could I colour it in with? Have I got anything that's got that nice rosy glow? I tend to be a very blue green. And rust person, but I guess rust fabric might look okay. I had to change my brush. Another little one. There's another little one. I am busy doing my nail at the same time here. So do that one lighter. This one a bit darker. And picked raspberry. That's probably going to be a bit drastic. Let's have a look. I'll use the same brush and that might help. I'm still going to go around them with the vintage photo. This away, otherwise I'll lose it in a... vintage photo. The desk is getting unruly again. Okay, I want to give them a little spritz, little drips of water. And I am going to take my little bit of picture paper and just gently dab them off, and then go over the white bits with the brown. Oh, look at my fingers. So we've got, I don't know if you can see those. I am going to tuck those in the bumpy sides sticking out. What do you think? Brings this colour in, and what I think I will do actually is tear unevenly. We're just looking a bit too neat and square. There now, I think that will do nicely. What about there? I could faff for ages, so I'm just going to get on and glue them in. I might later on come back with my number stamp and or letters or something and stamp ABC 1 2 3, that kind of thing. I shouldn't be obsessing about them being straight either, because it's not meant to be so perfect, but I want it to be kind of straightish. Rough them up a bit. Rough them up a bit. Okay. Oh, we've got these now. I'm going to just find little spaces to push these in, just because. This one there. Why do I only have 2? Dumb man. I hate when that stuff happens. I clearly have 3. I hope you're not all sitting at home saying, I can see it. Yeah, I didn't know where it is. So, we'll pretend that it never existed. And I'm going to stick this little tab just in. Maybe up here. In you go. In you go. You can do it. There, where's my baby wipe? Don't want sticky glue showing. Yeah. Little tabs. No doubt the other one will turn up at some point. I'm still looking for it. I feel disappointed. I do feel that this is not quite scruffy enough here. Okay, so back to this page. We need something to go in there. I'm going to keep those 2 inks kind of handy because they're a good colour. This looks a bit like it's I don't know how clearly you can see, but looks like an old envelope. Envelope depends how you see it. So I'm going to use that again on the back. So this page from insect book, I'll stick it onto that. This is still using the ephemera set from the Toast 49 Market Toast. I let that stick. Whilst that's drying, I also want to make a little bit for stapling on. I was testing my stapler yesterday to make sure that it worked. Just folded over a little bit of book page and stapled it, and I decided I really liked it. So I'm gonna just do another bit and staple, and I'm going to ink up my edges. A bit randomly. So we have that. This is stuff. I'm going to tear this away. I'm going to rough up my edges. And I know I should be using the tool to do so, but hey-ho. And I am just going to staple that on there. Okay, like that. And I know that might also be getting distracted. I would like to just add a hint of that pink. My brush is just still slightly pink, just to carry that colour on. What else can we put in there? We can put that in. Could possibly. Oh no, look what I did. Upside down. Upside down. So I wonder if I've got any nails left, honestly. Don't do it with your nails if you do anything silly like that. This way around, it has to go this way around. And I'm going to make these edges more brown. This is paper, it's not shiny like the book covers, so it's they're browning up okay. Do that on. Let's see what we had. In my toast papers. Let me put the rest of them away while we're done with those. I'm trying very hard to keep the desk tidy so that I can keep track of everything, but there's so many things. Let's see what else. Ooh, nice adverts. Maybe I could cut out a butterfly. Ooh, a thistle. Considering I'm Scottish, that's quite nice, isn't it? I could colour that in with watercolour pencils. Oh, that's nice. I'll keep that out. And I think I might cut out a butterfly. Oh, aren't these lovely? Honeysuckle, bonds of love. That's a good colour for our theme. I'll keep these both out so that I can cut those bits out later. So many sheets, so many beautiful sheets. Oh, that would be nice on the back page. So I don't really fussy cut. I kind of detest fussy cutting if I'm being honest. It's not my vibe at all. But I don't mind some quick basic kind of cutting out. So this, I'm just going to do this very roughly. Not that roughly, that's just so this rate, I think we're going to have a video per page. You won't be surprised to hear that at Craft Club, nobody really got their books finished. We have 3 hours. We sort of go 1 till 4. We can run a little bit past 4, but we got time to clear up and let Janine shut the shop. So 1 till 4, but it took us at least an hour and a half, I think, just to get them assembled with all the 3 tape, the 2 tape, the 3 tape thing. It takes slightly longer when you're showing a lot of people. But everybody took all their kits home. Sarah and I made up lots of nice vintage kits. So everybody took their kits home. And we'll finish them. I'll do nicely. I think I will use my matte glue. This is by Stamperia. It just means that I won't see shiny bits on my paper when the glue gets out. And I can give it a bit of a wiggle so that I'm spreading the glue a little. It'll do nicely. And it goes this way up, Louise. And I think I'll attach that. Let's see. Yeah. I might not put these on there at all, actually. I might keep them for somewhere else. I think somewhere I have a packet of old stamps. It might be nice to put, or a faux stamp maybe. It's a little bit big. I've got a box here that's full of little ephemera bits and bobs. And I'm pretty certain there's stamps in a little stick. Another one, but you wouldn't really see stamps on that side, but I don't care. I'm putting them on. I'm putting them on. Oh, here's a wish ticket. Keep hold of that. Yeah, so the stamps are not making themselves known to me in a timely manner. So we have to give up on that one for now. It's a little bit frustrating. It's a bit frustrating. Nope. Set of playing cards. Okay, so old stamps. And oh look, here's one from Australia. It's got the pinks on it, so that's handy. Put that away. I am just going to staple that on. And that's what's going in there, and we've got our butterfly on the back. Okay. Progress is being made. So I've got washi tape somewhere. Different ones that I got from Janine. Oh, things are getting out of hand. I may have to pause the video in a little bit and have a good old tidy up because I can't stand it. I cannot work like this. I can work in a mess, but not this much mess. Because I brought out 4 washi tapes at the start that I got from Janine's shop, and now I can only see 2. So that means things are at hand. It's kind of weird. Right. Here. Now to keep this down, I can either glue it down or I can use some kind of metal clip or something. I've got paper clip. Oh, I've got this little doodah. It'd be a bit too fancy for such a thing. Anyway, this will need something. What about a bit of paper that has the butterflies? Again, I don't need it to be the exact same size. Okay. Now, before I go any further, I mean, basically you're getting the gist of what's going on here. We're decorating, we're sticking things in pockets. But just because this is how many pages we've got now, this doesn't mean we have to stick with that many pages. You can use little bits that you've torn off. If I ink that up and just glue it down the edges. Let's do it in. Don't want to do it here. Maybe do it there. I just want to give you an example. I don't let's put it on here. I'm going to ink it up. So let's just give you a very quick example of something. Let's say I'll put it on with wet glue, but just a really thin line. I don't want to glue all of it, just a thin line. So I put this on. And now we instantly have a bit that we can stick little tickets and things in. So that's one idea. Now you don't have to just create flaps like that. We can, let's see, what about one of those? Say that you wanted to use this lady. We can attach her with an eyelet. Maybe we put her on there. Now I'm kind of glad I haven't stuck that down yet. I am going to use one of these memory keepers eyelets. I'm not bothered which colour. I'm going to use my crocodile. I'm just gonna by eye, a little hole, smaller than my eyelet, push my eyelet through, do the same here. Where do I need it? Where do I need it? I need it about there. Is it going to make it to about there? Because this is not a long reach one. This is just an ordinary one. But yes, it is. So I'll put it by eye again. I really hope I can make this reach. No. Okay, I'll do it straight through. So now she's have to be attached because I couldn't get it through. I just want to make sure I push it nice and tight. I feel like I'd like some tape or something, or more scruffy bits of paper. Scruffy paper. Needs to be slightly shorter than that. I am going to glue that on. I like it. don't want her too white around her edges. I'll just okay. Now let's see moves. It's kind of cool. It's mucky. And put something nice behind her. I think I would like I think I would like to use that paper. I'm getting my glue all covered in vintage photo ink. I'll put it up this corner. I want this snippet around the corner because it's got a rounded edge. Come back with my ink. Do I want to add any of that pink? Maybe not yet. And I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm talking to you most of the time, but in between, I'm very much talking to myself. I should really wait till this dries. Putting out in there. I would also like to put that on. So all this is probably going to take a really long time. What I'm going to do is speed up the video at this point and just let you see me finish what I'm going to do on those pages today. And the next video, I think we're just going to do a page at a time and maybe focus on the little tags and pockets and little extras that you can add. I just find that if I rush and try and do the whole book too quickly, then I miss things. And if you do a page a day, you can fill it with all sorts of really exciting and interesting little bits and bobs. So from here on in, video's going to speed up, and next time we'll start with new page.